Today, the world is home to 4,000 distinct religions. Forged by gods, guided by prophets, these faiths tell stories of miracles, heavenly interventions, and sacred truths triumphing against all odds. But is their enduring power the will of the divine or a mortal ambition? History reveals a different story, a tale of kings that saw in faith not salvation but strategy. A story where the crown and sword were as instrumental as faith and prayer in securing religious dominance. Today, on the Bite Size, we delve into the fascinating story of how thrones and altars intertwined, shaping the destinies of empires and religions alike. Watch the video till the end. If you are seeking clarity in the core concepts, fundamental principles, and basic beliefs of all religions, history, and philosophy, you have come to the right place. Welcome to my channel, History, Religion, and Philosophy Bite Size. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Before we dive into the main topic of today's discussion, I would like to provide a brief overview of some religions from antiquity to modern era that were unable to withstand the test of time and ultimately faded away for various reasons. Athenism, promoted by the Egyptian king Akhenaten, this religion was abandoned after his death. Mithraism, this was a Roman Empire religion which believed in loyalty and cosmic renewal. This was overshadowed by Christianity. Manichaeism from Persia, a combination of Zoroastrianism, Christianity, and Buddhism, was suppressed by other religions. Hanar in the pre-Islamic period was Arab paganism which believed in idol worship. Similarly, Sabianism was from Mesopotamia, who believed in star and planetary worship. Both these religions were replaced after the rise of Islam. Why do some religions perish while others survive? Is it because they lack divine support, or are they led by false prophet? Or is it because they don't have the backing of kings and empires? Let's start our story from James the Just, the brother of Jesus Christ. Jamesian Christianity was an early sect of Christianity rooted in Jewish tradition. James preached a faith deeply connected to social justice, contrasting sharply with Paul's teaching or Pauline Christianity, which was centered on salvation through atonement and believing in Jesus' divinity. After the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE, the Jewish Christian community lost its power base. Jamesian Christianity, seen as too Jewish, was marginalized and labeled heretical as Christianity sought to distance itself from Judaism. Was Paul's vision of Christianity destined to surpass that of James? Was this a result of divine providence or merely a matter of human political maneuvering? Let's keep exploring this theme and fast forward 300 years. The Roman Empire was divided between multiple rulers under the tetrarchy system, leading to constant power struggles. Constantine, the Roman emperor at that time, right before the Battle of Milvian Bridge in 312 CE, had a dream. His vision saw a symbol of the cross and the words which said, "In hoc signo vinces," which means, "In this sign you will conquer." Emperor Constantine attributed his victory at the Battle of Milvian Bridge to the Christian god. In 313 CE, in the Edict of Milan, he decreed and legalized Christianity across the Roman Empire, further solidified in 380 CE under Theodosius in the Edict of Thessalonica. Pagan temples were closed and non-Christian practices were outlawed. This marked the foundation of one of the world's largest religions, Christianity. Was it a true act of divine intervention or simply Constantine's strategy to stabilize the Roman Empire? Let's have a look at some other religions. But before that, a little message. The purpose of the bite-sized videos is to break down complex concepts into simple and easy to understand narrations. It requires a lot of effort and research. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so we can spread the message as much as possible. Between 630 CE and the next 2 centuries, Islamic expansion was remarkably rapid. Starting in the Arabian Peninsula, the Islamic caliphates extended their influence across the Middle East, including Persia, which is modern Iran, and the Levant. They moved westward into North Africa, reaching as far as Morocco and crossing into the Iberian Peninsula, which is Spain and Portugal, by 711 CE. To the east, they advanced into the Central Asia, including parts of modern-day Afghanistan and the Indus Valley, which is Pakistan. By 732 CE, Muslim armies reached France. A decisive battle was fought between the Frankish forces led by Charles Martel and a Muslim army under Abdurrahman al-Ghafiqi. Many historians argue that if Abdurrahman had won the battle, much of the Europe might now have a predominantly Muslim population. In 1529 and 1863, the Muslim armies of the Ottoman Empire laid siege to Vienna, now the capital of Austria, and temporarily occupied it. This threatened to pave the way for a full-scale invasion of Europe. However, the siege of 1683 was ultimately lifted by John Sobieski, decisively defeated the Ottoman forces. Was it the will of the Christian God that prevented Europe from being occupied by Muslim forces, or was it the strategic prowess of the European forces that secured these victories? The Shia-Sunni division in Islam stems from a dispute over leadership after Prophet Muhammad's death in 632 CE. Sunnis favoring Prophet's companions as his rightful heirs, and Shias supporting Prophet's son-in-law and his cousin Ali and his descendant as rightful leaders. Between 900 and 1000 CE, majority of Muslim lands were ruled by multiple Shia dynasties like the Fatimids, Zaydis, Crematians, Buyids, and Hamdanids. The Fatimids was a very powerful Ismaili Shia dynasty who established a powerful state in North Africa with Cairo as its capital. Eventually, they were defeated by Salahuddin Ayyubi of the Ayyubide dynasty, which was a Sunni empire. The Buyids, a 12er Shia Persian dynasty, ruled Iran and Iraq, eventually succumbing to the Sunni control by the Seljuk Turks. The Crematians and the Zaydis met similar fates due to Sunni opposition and internal conflicts. If these four Shia powers had achieved lasting dominance, the Muslim world could have become predominantly Shia. Is the present Sunni majority a result of divine will, or is it a consequence of the shortcomings in Shia military strategy? Let's go back in time around 500 BCE. Most of us have heard about Siddhartha Gautama Buddha. He taught us non-violence, compassion, and the path to enlightenment. But many of us don't know about Ashoka, the great Indian king born about 263 years after Buddha. He was the emperor of the Mauryan Empire. Ashoka embraced Buddhism after the devastating Kalinga War in 261 BCE. He sponsored the construction of stupas, which are mound-like structures containing relics of the Buddha. He also built monasteries and pillars inscribed with Buddhist teachings, which served as landmarks of the faith. Ashoka issued rock and pillar edicts across his empire, written in Greek and Aramaic to ensure accessibility. These inscriptions spread Buddhist values, including non-violence, respect for all religions, and moral behavior. Ashoka sent missionaries across India and abroad to spread Buddhism, a ground-breaking move. Ashoka's efforts transformed Buddhism from a relatively localized Indian tradition to a major world religion. Was this divine intervention or the efforts of an emperor who was shaken to his core by the violence of war? The conversion of England from Catholicism to Protestantism began with King Henry VIII in the early 16th century. Initially a devout Catholic, Henry sought an annulment of his marriage to Catherine of Aragon because she had not borne him a male heir. When the Catholic Pope refused to grant the annulment, Henry took matters into his own hands. In 1534, he enacted the Act of Supremacy, declaring himself the supreme head of the Church of England, thus effectively initiating a series of events that established Protestantism in England. As a result of this, an entire nation shifted its religious allegiances from one sect to another. Was this the will of a divine power, or merely a king imposing his will on his subject? Human history is inundated by warfare and the conquest of one group by another. Religions often attribute these outcomes to their unique divine favor, but historical evidence suggests otherwise. Ultimately, how you interpret the history of the world is up to you. I really appreciate if you post your comments and questions in the section below. Thanks for watching.